All right, so let me paint you a picture. You're editing in Premiere. Everything's going great. You know, you're bringing in your clips, getting ready to edit. All of a sudden, bam! You try to bring in that clip you need to edit with, and it says file import failure. It won't even let you edit with it. Or maybe it lets you bring it in, but the screen is black. Or you get one of these red errors. So what do? Don't worry, I got your back. So again, the problem is your editing software won't accept the video clip you're trying to import into it. So what's the solution? Ultimately, it's going to be some type of file conversion. And where you do that depends on the resources you have. Now, it's interesting because Adobe has the media encoder. If you're editing in Premiere, then you most likely have the Adobe media encoder as well. But the problem is, if Premiere won't import the file, it's most likely that the media encoder won't do it either because they're built on the same platform. So you need to find your answer somewhere else. So where do you go? I found a program called FFAS Trans that I really like. Some of the best points about it: number one, it's free. Number two, it's extremely versatile. It works with a range of different clips. I've been able to convert files with this program that VLC wouldn't even play back. And the best part for news editors, if you're in a situation where you can't install software on your computer, this program is portable, which means there's no installation. You don't need admin rights to get it on your computer to use it. So let me give you a quick demonstration of how this program works. You've got your trouble file right here, okay? This was police surveillance video, and it's so bad that I can't even get VLC to play it back. So I wasn't sure I was even going to be able to use this at all. But what I did was drag it into my flip folder here, and then we just wait for the file to convert. And then if you go into my flipped folder where the output goes, you'll see the converted file is right here. And you click on it, it'll play back just like it's supposed to from the beginning. And you can see that it works. So getting this all set up is probably the hardest part. Once it's done, you saw how easy it is to drag and drop files. Let me show you how to do this. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go to ffastrans.com, and you're just going to click on Download Latest. All right, so from there you head to your Downloads folder. Okay, so it's a zipped file. So what you're going to want to do is unzip the file, and I have 7-zip for that. Then you're going to just extract everything. Okay, so once you've got the file extracted and you've got your folder here, FFAS Trans, you can open it up and see there's your executable and all the other things that it needs. And if you want to take a few minutes, go ahead and read through this. The more you know, the better you'll be able to use this program. Now you can install this program onto a thumb drive if you want to, but because my folders are automated and as soon as I turn Windows on, it automatically runs the program. So if you'd like to set it up the way I have it set up, where everything's already running once you have it on, I'll show you how to do that. Now I actually have my program installed inside my OneDrive. You can do that if you want to, or you can install it loose in the C drive in its folder. So you would just drag the FFAS Trans folder over to your C drive, and you can put it right there. Something you should be aware of if you're running OneDrive on your computer and if it's syncing your desktop. I make a point not to put any big size files on the desktop because I don't want OneDrive to start syncing that if I'm out in the field and I'm already having trouble trying to find an internet connection to send video. I don't want to try to upload video in the background. So even though it looks like I have my flip folder set up right here on the desktop, these are actually shortcuts. Where my flip folders actually live is in the videos folder, and the path to get there is going to be in the C drive. Go to C, users, your name, or whatever your user account is, and then from there should be a folder called videos, and that's where all my actual flip folders reside. Even though I'm using dragging and dropping into these shortcuts on the desktop, they actually live here in the videos folder on the C drive. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is navigate to wherever you decided to install the program. And by install, I mean drag the folder that you just unzipped. So you're going to click on the program for the first time, and you have to set something up first. You want to go into Options, Configuration, and you want to go to Host. And under Resources, where it says Enable Local Workflow Processing as Application, you want to make sure you have that checked. Hit OK. Now, if this is brand new, if you've never used it before, you're not going to have any workflows here on the left. These are just a bunch of workflows that I've already made. I think you might have one that says Untitled. So what you want to do, if you're importing the preset that I've provided, just download it from the YouTube page and then go up to File, Import Workflow, and point to where you had it downloaded, and you're going to import the workflow here. From there, it's probably going to be in the Flip Folders folder, and the one I'm using for this tutorial is called ProRes LT. So let's go over what this workflow looks like real quick to give you an idea. I don't want to explain everything. Right now, we just want to get you started. So first, start with the folder. These are called nodes, by the way. Each node adds functionality and gives you different options. Okay, so we start with folder. This is your source folder. Okay, so you click on this. This gives you the path of the folder that you're going to drag your file that you need to have converted into. Okay, so you want to set that up. If you don't have that set up already, you may want to create a folder. Once that's done, the next node is a processor node, and this one is our Apple ProRes processor node. Quick note, this is not actually Apple's ProRes codec. This is a reverse engineered ProRes codec, so it works slightly differently. There's 4 different main settings here, 4 different profiles they call them: HQ, SQ, LT, and proxy. And each one has different quality settings. HQ is, of course, your best. Proxy is your lowest. Any one of these is robust enough that you can bring into an editing program and it will work. And just quickly going through them, as you look at proxy, I think that gives you about 45 megabytes per second file size. LT gives you about 100 megabytes per second file size, and that's plenty for me. I don't need to go any higher than that. I'm not going to go through every one of these settings since I've already made the preset for you. If you need to go in and change them, go ahead. Right now it's set to export as a QuickTime MOV, but you can even change that if you want to. You can make it an MXF file. That's up to you. Okay, I'm going to hit OK here, and we're going to go to the next node. This would be your destination folder node. So inside here is going to be the path of the flipped folder where your converted file will end up, and that's where you're going to take it out of. You're going to want to make sure that you have a folder created before you run this, and that you can point to that folder so it knows where to send the files. Otherwise, they go into limbo. And then these 2 are extra nodes that I have set up. So what this first node is going to do is going to delete the original file. Whatever source file you drag into that folder, once it's done converting, the original file will be deleted from that folder. I do that just because I like to keep things clean. You can disable it if you want. Just right click, bypass processor, but I like to have that. So the second one that says remove workflow history is a command that will clear the cache for you. And then to connect these nodes, you notice they're all connected to each other in a certain order, and you can move them around if you want to. You can disconnect these if you want to, and then you can reconnect them if you want to. You can connect them in different orders, but of course that's going to change the behavior of it, so you want to be careful of that. Anyway, once you have this set up the way you want it, you're going to right click and select Save Workflow. That will save any changes that you made while you were in here. And by default, these workflows are not running. So in order to get them to start running, you want to right click on it and select Start. All right, so we've got our workflow set up. It's running. we're going to minimize this for a second, and we're going to locate the file that we want to convert. And just like I did earlier, I'm going to drag that file and bring it over to the source folder. Let it go. It's going to copy into the source folder. And then when it's done, it'll be in the output folder. So if we want to watch what's happening in the background, you don't have to do this. You can just wait for it. But if you want to make sure it's running, you can go here. And actually, let me move myself out of this so I can show you what's happening a little bit better. So go down to the bottom right corner where your icons are, and here's the program. You can just right click and go to status monitor, and it's going to give you an ETA, about 1:17 to go on this file before it's finished converting. While we're waiting, we'll just go through this. This is the name of the workflow. This is when the job started. This is your source file location. This is the name of the processor, the active processor that's running. And this just gives you status on the conversion and your total progress here. Now, when it's done, if everything goes well, under result, it's going to say success. And we're going to speed things up. All right, and you can see that it was successfully converted. We can close that out. All right, so let's check out the output folder and see what we got. Go to flipped, click on it, and there it is right here, surveillance.mov. Now, if you want this program to be automated, and what I mean by that is that it's running in the background when you start Windows for the first time, I'm going to show you how to set that up real quick. What you're going to want to do is click on Windows R and then type shell:startup, and you're going to hit OK. And that's going to take you to a startup folder. Inside that are shortcuts, and if there's a shortcut to a program in this folder, then every single time Windows runs, it's going to check that and it will make sure that program is running when it boots. So if it's not here already, which mine is already there, of course yours won't be, so you're going to want to right click and you're going to go to New. You want to go to Shortcut, and then wherever you put the program, just navigate to where that shortcut lives on your computer. Again, you want the executable here. So ffas-trans.exe, okay? And then you're going to create the shortcut for it. I'm not going to do it because it's already here on mine. But once that's set, everything's automated and your flip folders will be ready to go from the moment you turn on your computer. Now, really, we're just scratching the surface with this program. There's so many different things it can do. This is just one of them. But it's something that I use on a regular basis, and it drastically helps improve my workflow. The last thing you want to think about when you're trying to turn something around under a deadline is, oh, what should the bitrate be and what should the file size be and all this stuff. All you know is that you need to have it converted and you need to have it ready to edit with. So hopefully this will help you out. If it does, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you like these videos and you want to see more of them, click on subscribe. I've got some more videos planned to come out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.